Absolutely gorgeous night here at Camelback Ranch, Glendale. The temperature today was about 80 degrees. There's high overcast, but no wind to speak of. And for both of these ball clubs, trying to get going. Opening day just 7 days away. It is 81 degrees. Hyun-Jin Ryu starting on the mound for the Dodgers this evening and trying to get things going. It's been kind of a rough start for him so far. This is the third start that he's had in spring training with a very high ERA. And he's given up a lot of hits in 5 2/3 innings. So trying to get that curveball in particular. Last time that we saw him, he was really good with the slider and with a changeup. But it was the curveball is a little inconsistent. We'll see how it goes here tonight. But this Dodger ball club coming on 13-13-1. And for Mike Scioscia, brings his Angels over. A record of 12 wins and 5 losses. These two ball clubs will see one another beginning on Sunday in Anaheim, and then Monday and Tuesday at Dodger Stadium for the Freeway Series. And then they will face Albert Pujols and company 6 different times this year. They played them 4 times last year. They split those 4 games, but 6 games against the Angels today. We'll make that this year. Happy to have you with us. And for the Angels, a couple of new faces in their lineup, and we see first of all Ian Kinsler leading it off. Just acquired, playing at second base, Mike Trout, and then Justin Upton to follow. Kinsler, an interesting story. And you see the numbers on this simulcast on the television side. 257 so far in spring training. Right-handed batter. Hyun-Jin Ryu into the windup, and the first pitch is in for the strike, and we are underway. Kinsler with the Tigers last year played 136 games, and while the average was down at 236, it was productive, however. 22 home runs. Ryu delivers, and it's a fly ball hit a mile in the air to center field. Chris Taylor under it, reaches up and makes the catch, and there's the initial out. To set the rest of the Dodger defense in the infield at first base is Cody Bellinger. Kike Hernandez starting at second base. Corey Seager is at shortstop. Logan Forsythe is playing at third base. Matt Kemp in left. Chris Taylor, who just made that catch in center. Yasiel Puig is over in right. Austin Barnes doing the catching. And here's the man of, the hour, Mike Trout. This is his 7th full season at the big league level, and he has been an all-star 6 times already. Infield to pull, and there's a strike taken, 0-1. Speaking of strikes with Mike Trout, he has 36 at-bats this spring. He has not struck out once. Ryu delivers, and 0-1 is fouled off and out of play, 0-2. And here's the spot he's talked about, Kevin. He has changed the swing with 2 strikes, wants to put the ball into play.
Yeah, the last couple of years he's gone down from 24 to 23% to 20%. Last year, 18% of the time he has struck out. This year, and he struck out 4 times in a game once last year, and he said, I never want to see that happen again. So he's shortening up with 2 strikes.
0-2, there's a breaking ball, and, well, we see a first. That's the first strikeout this spring by Mike Trout, who had walked 7 times, did not have a strikeout against him, and now 37 at-bats. He finally gets the punch-out.
And a curveball, Rick, and that's the pitch we just talked about that Ryu wants to see working tonight because it has not been a good pitch for him so far this spring. So can't throw one any better than that one.
That is a good start for Hyun-Jin Ryu. Tremendous curveball. Right over the top, here's Justin Upton. Silver Slugger Award winner last year. 125 games with the Tigers, then came over the Angels and played 27 games. And it really helped solidify Mike Scioscia's lineup right in the middle of it. Takes outside, ball 1, 1-0. Upton with 3 home runs, 11 RBIs so far this spring. He had 28 home runs with the Tigers. Hit 7 home runs after he joined the Angels in those 27 games. So power indeed. And a big man batting in front of Albert Pujols tonight. Pujols is on deck.
Upton was acquired because the Angels were going for the wild card, one of the wild cards last year.
2-0 pitch in there for the strike, 2-1. Well, for the Angels last year, they were below the 500 mark. They were 80-82. Played well at home. They were 43-38, but on the road, a little different story. 37-44. So trying to improve things, and the Angels going to have a different look this year as well. Swing and a miss. The count now 2-2. Different look because they are toying with having a 6-man starting rotation. So we'll see how that plays out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, top of the first. Dodgers against the Angels, a night game, swing and a miss, and a good inning for Hyun-Jin Ryu. He had been touched for a lot of base hits versus the innings that he had pitched, but not here in the opening frame, including a strikeout to Mike Trout the first time he's gone down this spring training. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Dodgers going to pick up the lumber. Jaime Barria, the youngster on the mound for the Angels. No score. Bottom of the first coming up. There's the Angels in order. Now the Dodgers with Chris Taylor, Corey Seager, and Matt Kemp to follow. Jaime Barria is the pitcher. Boy, did he do some ladder climbing last year. He started in A-ball, was promoted to Double-A, and then was promoted to Triple-A. So for the 21-year-old right-hander getting a chance to go here tonight, the Angels really like him. They like the control that he has. And the Dodgers like Chris Taylor with the control that he's had is hitting the ball. He's hitting at .308 this spring. Three into the windup and delivers it. It's outside, ball one. For Chris Taylor, he has supplied some power. Hit his first home run just the other day, but it's amazing. He has struck out just 6 times this spring. He has walked 10 times and has 6 doubles. Barria delivers, and that misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, Dave Roberts was asked about Taylor. Would he move back to the infield with Justin Turner out for a while? He said no way. He's our leadoff hitter and our center fielder, and that's where he's going to stay.
Barria with a 2-0. It's hit late and foul down the right field line and out of play.
What difference a year makes for Chris Taylor.
Well, Taylor's one of those guys, and remember, Taylor a year ago did not break camp as part of that 25-man roster. Well, he was called up soon thereafter, but 21 home runs and 72 RBIs and played just terrific center field. Here's the 2-1 on the way. And it's down low, 3 balls and a strike.
Barria's stuff is pitches at 94 with the fastball. He's got a curveball. And his changeup is what scouts tell us is his best pitch.
Seager waiting on deck. Taylor. There's the 3-1 on the way, and it's fouled straight back. A good rip at that one. The count full 3-2.
You got a fastball right there, right down the middle. See if Barria goes to that changeup right here in the first inning.
Very quickly, the defense alignment in the infield for the Angels. Albert Pujols is at first base tonight. Ian Kinsler at second. Andrelton Simmons, Gold Glove winner last year, along with the newcomer Zach Cozart over at third base. Here's the payoff pitch. Got him. Swing on and miss, and Taylor down on strikes. 1 down here in the bottom of the first.
That's what it was. Went to that changeup. 3-2. The bottom fell out of that. Good call by Maldonado. Good pitch with good arm speed by Barria.
So Taylor strikes out just the 7th time that he has struck out in 40 at bats. There's 1 out. Corey Seager coming on. For Seager, it's been a work in progress as far as the swing and repeatability. Just a 176 average. Infield playing to pull. Barria delivers. And it's just off the plate inside. A long look by Martin Maldonado. Thought he had it for a strike, but no call from home plate umpire Brian Fields. Barria with the outfield deep. The pitch on the way to Seager is outside. 2 balls and a no strike. For Seager with a home run, 6 RBIs this spring. 6 hits and 34 bats, including a pair of doubles. Chokes up on the bat about an inch. Barria looking in. And the right-hander into the windup. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's fouled up into the air down the left field line. Plenty of room. Cozart is there. Makes the catch. Second out of the inning.
Zach Cozart now playing third base. Had a great year with Cincinnati. All-star at shortstop last year. Another good pickup by the Angels.
Matt Kemp hitting over 300 this spring. He's 13 for 43 with 4 home runs and 8 runs batted in. Dave Roberts talking earlier this afternoon about his lineup tonight. He said he didn't really give a whole lot of thought to who was going to hit in this position, but it is interesting to see that Kemp is batting in the 3 spot tonight. So who is going to step in for that big number 3 spot? If you're looking at the lineup, a swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch, 0-1. Normally the managers, and not speaking out of turn, you put your managerial hat on, you're looking at, normally have your best hitter in that number 3 spot.
Well,
0-1's inside off the plate, 1-1.
I mean, this looks like an opening day lineup to me. I mean, you break up the lefties by doing that. If you hit Bellinger's third, you've got Seager and Bellinger back-to-back. This way you've got Kemp in between the two, just like Turner. Justin being the right-hander between a couple of lefties.
1-1 offering is outside. 2 balls and a strike. Kemp was talking today as Roberts was addressing his ball club, and Kemp was saying, look, he said, I can't wait. There's something magical about opening day at Dodger Stadium. Something magical about opening day, period, but especially when you're playing at home and playing at Dodger Stadium. 2-1 delivery. It swung on and fouled off far into the Dodger dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Kemp in that 3 spot. Dave Roberts is saying, look, our lineup right now, and they're still trying to regroup different scenarios that they might be able to use while Justin Turner is getting healthy and trying to get back. He said we're still trying to figure things out with the lineup. 2-2 ground ball, 2 hops to Simmons, the wrong guy to hit it to. Gold Glove winner last year. True to form, throws him out. 6-3 on the putout, and that is going to do it. It's been 6 up and 6 down. Angels were gone. The Dodgers are gone in order. We go to the 2nd inning. No score at Camelback Ranch, Glendale. Connected every day with live radio calls, video highlights, stats, breaking news, and more. Just download MLB at Bat. Do it now. It's your #1 app, your #1 Dodger app. Albert Pujols takes outside ball 1. It'll be Pujols, Cozart, and then Calhoun.
Ryu Rick threw 10 pitches, 8 for strikes, and good curveball, good slider so far tonight.
Curveball and pretty good pitch right there, swung on and missed. The ball coming into the back leg of Albert Pujols. 1 ball and 1 strike. But that curveball, as we mentioned the last outing that we had the broadcast with Hyun-Jin Ryu, talk about a work in progress. He's trying to increase the amount of spin on the curveball. There's a swing and a foul at home plate. The count now 1-2.
Well, that one he threw to Trout started out at his chest and finished at his feet. That's how much that broke. And you said something in a break, and you're right on. Kershaw-esque?
Kershaw-esque.
It was.
Type of a curveball.
It was.
So for Hyun-Jin Ryu, he is healthy. Came back last year. Of course, he had the shoulder surgery. But he is 100% healthy this year. That is the good news for Ryu. It's obviously great news for the Dodgers. Maybe not good news for hitters. Curveball misses down low. 2-2. So Pujols last year, and he does not get leg hits. The way he runs, or does not run, 23 home runs, 101 runs batted in. 2-2 offering is hit off to the right, now to play. Pujols, 149 games. He's designated hitter most of the time.
Be interesting with Ohtani, who's not in the lineup tonight, how much Ohtani DHs.
Ground ball, and it's up the middle. But with the shift on, there's Kike Hernandez who scoops it up. We mentioned with Pujols does not run well, so you get a ground ball, you have plenty of time to work with it. First out of the inning, here's Zach Cozart, one of the new faces.
About 5 years ago, that's a base hit to center field, but with the shift on, not anymore. Kike playing about 15 feet to our left upstairs here of second base.
Cozart began this spring, and you always wonder, in a new uniform, how much you're still trying to impress people. Well, he was an all-star in the National League last year. But you're coming over to a new team. He started off no hits in his first 11 bats. Well, as you see on the television side of the simulcast, hitting at .342. The reason? He's hitting 5 straight at a .615 clip in those 5 games. Takes a strike, 1-1.
Another nice curveball hit the back door this time. Hit that outside corner.
Cozart was acquired really to play second base. Oh, he's a shortstop. Broken bat, little looper, right center. It's going to be trouble, and it is trouble. Broken bat, blooper. Cozart's aboard. He's hit in 6 consecutive games.
A little slide ball in on the hands right here, and the reason it was up in the air is because the pitch was up. Didn't break down and in, didn't have the depth, and it drops in between Taylor and Kike Hernandez.
Cozart's aboard. Here's Cole Calhoun coming on to bat. Cozart, by the way, slated to play at second base, but then after the deal was done, general manager for the Angels, Billy Epler, gave him a call. He says, look, this might be somewhat unfair. But would you mind moving to third base? The reason was Epler said, look, we have a chance to sign Ian Kinsler. And our defense is going to be even better. If you will switch over to third, Kinsler can be at second base. As you see the numbers on Calhoun hitting at .421 so far this spring. Cozart said, absolutely, we want to win. So he is now their third baseman. Calhoun, left-handed batter, takes the inside just off the plate. Ball 1-1-1.
And also what Billy Epler said, he said, listen, if you don't want to, I've already made the agreement with you. We'll nix the Kinsler deal. You're going to play where we signed you to. But he said, no, you're exactly right. He wants, and his wife helped convince him of that, too.
Well, Calhoun waits. Curveball's outside. 2 balls and a strike. Calhoun, 19 home runs last year, knocked in 71. And the trade-off, he had 71 walks, but well over 100 strikeouts last year.
Pretty
Angels have been running this spring as well. They have 20 stolen bases. The Dodgers have swiped just 9.
That's still Mike Socha's game. He's got a few guys that can run, and he'll put them in motion.
Seager, the shortstop, playing up the middle. Hernandez, the second baseman, just about halfway between first and second base and not all the way back on the grass. Calhoun runs well. Cozart over at first, being held by Bellinger, also runs well.
I think the question this year for Mike will be, how much does Mike Trout run?
Frias sent, and the left-handed delivers. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Trout tore a thumb ligament in Miami, sliding head first into second last year. And he wears a brace on that now.
And still had 22 stolen bases.
Yeah, he did. He's got a couple this spring. We were talking about Jose Altuve, who steals 40 bases. He said, I probably won't steal that anymore because I don't want to get hurt.
Calhoun waits. The count goes full to 3-2.
Mike talking about that first strikeout for those watching on TV. How did I strike out? It was a good curveball. That's how you struck out.
We'll see if Cozart is going. He had 3 stolen bases last year. He's not going, and the pitch is swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Austin Barnes. So that's the third strikeout by Hyun-Jin Ryu. 2 down. Runner still at first for Andrelton Simmons.
Yeah, for a guy that strikes out a lot, didn't feel that Mike Socha would put a runner in motion there. But they strike out batter at the plate.
Simmons, one of the elite players really in baseball. And obviously from a defensive standpoint, but had a spring hitting at .231. Last year during the regular season hit .278 with 14 home runs.
In fact, the Angels defensively, because of Simmons, they don't ask him to shift. He's got that much range. They feel he can just kind of roam and set up where he wants to.
1-0 pitch hit to the right side. Kike Hernandez is playing up the middle. Puig picks the ball up. Initially, Cozart had an idea going to third base. He goes, uh-oh, not with Yasiel Puig throwing.
Yeah, Yasiel Puig really deserved the Gold Glove Award last year. Got to that ball quickly, came up throwing, and one hopped his cutoff man, Corey Seager. Nothing wrong with that.
First and second, 2 down. Luis Valbuena is the batter. Well, Yasiel Puig, we saw him on a daily basis, and we were kind of shocked when he did not receive a Gold Glove, not just for the plays that he made, but the way he shut down the opposing base running in making plays and with his arm. Good curveball for strike 0-1 to Valbuena.
Well, he stopped runners from going from first to third like he did right there with Cozart. You don't take the extra base on him. Stops guys from sometimes getting a double.
Dodgers with an extreme pull in the infield. Pitches outside 1-1. Kike Hernandez is closer to the right field foul line than he is the second base bag, and playing deep about 15 almost 20 feet on the outfield grass. Valbuena, yes, he hit 22 home runs last year. Knocked in 65, but hit a $199 below the Mendoza line. And he is a guy that does not walk often. 48 walks last year, struck out 106 times.
And they like him. Say he's a good guy in the club. They like him. Mike Scioscia likes him. He'll take those 22 home runs.
Valbuena, left-handed batter, has a couple of home runs this spring. Stands a long way from the plate, and the pitch is outside. 3 balls and a strike. Martin Maldonado is waiting on deck.
Barnes has done a pretty good job already behind the plate blocking. There's been a couple gold balls in the dirt, and he's just shifted correctly so far. Gave the umpire a good look on that pitch that was just off the outside corner.
Cozart at second. Simmons leading off at first base, and the pitch is ball 4. That is going to load the bases. So as efficient as Hyun-Jin Ryu was in the first inning, running into a little bit of a problems here with 2 outs, bases loaded in the second. Valbuena hitting 2 1/4 this spring. Make that 237 with a couple of home runs. Played 138 games last year, hit 14 home runs.
I was going to say, if he's going to walk on that pitch, he would need a step ladder.
Well, here's a guy, if he walks, you got yourself a scoop. Takes a strike 0-1. Why do we say that? Well, Martin Maldonado last year walked just 15 times in 138 games and struck out 119 times. So the ratio is not that good. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed 0-2. What's really strange, they did a study. And for Ryu, now he's really kind of firing and hitting spots that he needs to. But for Maldonado, last year on the balls that he put into play had a reasonable batting average.
Yeah, and he's got some power, but he just chases too much. So right now, 0-2, you don't need to throw a strike, not even close.
There is the 0-2, and it's up and away with a fastball. 1 ball to 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 2 outs. We're in the top of the second inning. No score. Dodgers and Angels.
When you see a ball to strike ratio 10-1 the wrong way, you don't even have to look at stats to tell you, or analytics to tell you, listen, this guy chases everything, so when we get ahead of him, we're not going to throw him a strike. He's going to get himself out.
Maldonado out of Puerto Rico. Angels 27th pick 14 years ago.
Like Barnes wanted the curveball right there. Indecision of what Ryu wanted to throw.
Runners lead off. Here's the 1-2, and it's a check swing, and Maldonado goes around, and for Hyun-Jin Ryu gets out of trouble. His 4th strikeout of the night. 3 runners left on base, or a couple of base hits and a walk. The Dodgers now trying to get on board. Bottom of the second we go. It'll be Bellinger, Puig, and Forsythe for the Dodgers. Camelback Ranch, Glendale. It's represented the Angels last year in the All-Star Futures game. And again, he started in A-ball, went to AA and AAA. Well, the man that leads it off for the Dodgers here in the second began things last year in AAA. Didn't stay there long, and Cody Bellinger started to rewrite the record books when he came on. And so far this spring, 263 with 3 home runs. So Bellinger, followed by Puig, and then Forsythe. No score, bottom of the second. Hurry into the windup, and the hard-throwing right-hander delivers. That's outside, ball 1. For Bellinger, Dodgers got a scare a couple of days ago. He fouled a ball off of his left leg, or make that right leg, but fortunately it had a protective guard that he wears below the knee. So anytime something happens, the Dodgers now flinch. By the way, an update on Justin Turner. As the 1-1 is on the way to Bellinger, ground ball hit on the ground. He rolled over on it, and that putout goes 4-3. There is 1 down. Yasiel Puig will come on at bat. Well, Justin Turner is in a brace. He's not in a hard cast. It's a non-displaced fracture in his right wrist, slightly above it. So he is getting physical therapy treatment each and every day for a couple of hours. But it is still very uncomfortable, obviously, for Turner. It's very uncomfortable for the Dodgers, for that matter. Puig hits the line drive fouled on the right field line.
Rick, that's the last thing any club wants to see, but your best overall player, best overall hitter, your team captain to go down in spring training.
Injuries are going to present themselves. Puig takes upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. There was a report came across just an hour ago that Jeff Samardzija with the San Francisco Giants will undergo an MRI on his shoulder tomorrow.
Yep.
Nothing is guaranteed.
No.
The 1-1. Yasiel fouls it, goes over the top of us and over the top of the roof.
Well, former Dodger Darrell Cotton had Tommy John. Is having Tommy John. We just found out the other day.
Yep, had it yesterday. Cotton now with the Oakland A's.
He was in their rotation again for sure.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. High drive left field. Forget it. This one is up. It is way up, and it is way gone. Yasiel Puig with his first home run in spring training. And there was not any doubt about it.
Maria had gotten 3 outs on the changeup so far. I believe this was a changeup up. And it was crushed.
Right down the middle. And well over the left field line, just the left of the 380 mark. That ball went 400 plus. So Dodgers on the board with Puig's first home run of the spring. Logan Forsythe stepping in. He was going to be doing the bulk of the third base chores. Having himself a very good spring indeed. Couple of home runs, 6 RBIs, and hitting over 350. Let's remember, Forsythe was injured last year early. He was hit in the foot with a pitch. And then it was just after that he had the leg injury, and it may have been a result of kind of favoring his foot. The 0-2 pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. By the way, the trip around the diamond, the home run by Yasiel Puig, sponsored by Daniels Jewelers, giving you a $50 gift card for every home run. And just go to danielsjewelers.com/LA to claim yours and save on stunning diamond jewelry, perfect for Mother's Day. Daniels Jewelers, making diamond dreams come true since 1948. Forsythe maybe unheralded to his value last year. He did not complain, and very few people knew that he was really banged up, but he was. Swings and misses here, and that's the second out of the inning. First strikeout, make it the second strikeout by Berea tonight. For Berea out of Panama City, Panama. 6'1", 210. Again, an international free agent signed by the Angels 5 years ago. Jock Peterson, the Dodgers' designated hitter. He is swinging the bat better the last few days, but still that average, just a $178. Takes down low and the count 1-0. 8 hits and 45 at bats for the Dodgers left-handed batter. So he does have a home run and 3 doubles. Swing, there's the off-speed pitch, and a good one. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, he's not afraid to throw that pitch, that's for sure.
And the changeup is not a pitch that you see a lot of young players really have a feeling for.
No, and it's graded as on a scale of 20 to 80 for scouts, is 70, which is one of the best.
Ball downstairs, 2-1. 2 outs, run across on the home run. His first of the spring by Yasiel Puig, who now has 9 runs batted in. Austin Barnes waiting on deck. Infield to pull. Peterson waits. Here's Berea with a 2-1. It's inside, 3 balls and a strike.
And he's got a good fastball, so he's got good differential between the changeup and the fastball. He hits 94, 95 with his 4-seam fastball.
For Jock, a bridegroom this offseason. Swing and a miss, 3-2. In fact, day 1 of spring training. Dave Roberts addressing his ball club. He said, let me see a hands of all the players had gotten married this offseason. There were a total of 8 that were in the room. So last year it was, well, the old nickname, the Bridegrooms for the Dodgers. Breaking ball inside. Peterson able to lay off that pitch. He draws the 2-out walk.
That was the original name of the Dodgers in Brooklyn.
Bridegrooms and the Raleigh Dodgers. And it got the nickname the Bridegrooms because that particular year there were a lot of the players that were engaged to be married. Very similar to last year.
That is a lot, 8.
Here's Austin Barnes. He's played 11 games and he's hitting .111. He was sidelined with the elbow. Really in a throwing program. Did not play as much as Corey Seager did, who was on the throwing program earlier. Seager served as a designated hitter. Barnes did not do it that often. Takes a strike 0-1. Austin with 27 at-bats this spring. Berea delivers, and it's swung on and missed, and quickly 0-2. Kike Hernandez waiting on deck.
Barnes had a big year last year. Obviously, you want to have a good spring. He's not having a good spring as far as getting base hits, but the Dodgers, and he knows what he can do. He had big hits for them last year. So much so that he became a starter a lot of the times at the end and in the postseason.
Berea, 21 years of age. This is his 5th year in pro ball. Fouled off by Barnes down the right field line. No balls and 2 strikes. Great crowd on hand. Of course, at game time, it was 81 degrees. There is very little breeze at all. Just enough to kind of be comfortable. It is definitely the epitome tonight of a shirt sleeve crowd. 1-0 Dodgers. The 0-2 on the way. And Berea thought he had strike 3. Barnes took it, and the count goes 1-2.
Curveball. He thought he had it. It was called high. You mentioned something to me the other night that the high pitch today is not what it was back when you played.
The
strike zone is different.
Now is above the belly button.
Yeah.
The high pitch used to be just under the armpits or across the letters on the jersey. 1-2. And Barnes fouls it off. We'll get yet another pitch.
And because of the way the game's being played today with launch angle and exit velocity, you're seeing more and more pitchers, not on the curveball, but on 4-seam fastballs. You're seeing more guys trying to go in, more guys trying to go up in the zone. And some aren't used to doing it, and some aren't capable of doing it.
So Barnes, very valuable last year, able to play numerous positions, and it looks like he may be called upon to do that again this year. Dodgers, again, are just not really settled exactly how they are going to work things. As Barnes takes the pitch 2-2. Will Austin get some time at second base? Dave Roberts says definitely. He could play multiple positions in an emergency situation. He could also play the outfield. He runs well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Peterson walked. He's over at first. The pitch on the way, and it's called strike 3. This time Berea thought he had it, and it was verified by Brian Fields, the home plate umpire. So Yasiel Puig gets his first home run of the spring, and for the Dodgers Ball Club, the 45th home run that they have hit so far this spring. A week from opening day, we go to the 3rd inning. It's 1-0 Dodgers.
The descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Dodgers.
Kevin Kennedy in this simulcast. Both on Sportsnet LA and, of course, every game on AM 570 LA Sports. And hope you're having as good a time as many here tonight. Close to a sellout crowd. First pitch to Ian Kinsler is pulled foul. Vicious line drive. For Kinsler, he is out at Tucson. Signed originally with the Rangers. With them for a few years at the big league level, each of the last 4 years with the Tigers. And he figures to kind of solidify what was already a very good defense of the Angels. In fact, you look at both of these ball clubs last year, they held their own exceptionally well and not kicking the ball around. Mike Scioscia has stressed that, as Dave Roberts has stressed it with the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers, from a defensive efficiency standpoint, were the best in baseball last year.
Well, with the amount of home runs being hit today, you don't want to give extra outs and extra base runners by making errors and have the power hitters up there with 2 men on.
2 balls and a strike to Kinsler. Right-handed batter, and he fouls it off to count 2-2. Top of the 3rd inning is brought to you by Cedars-Sinai Kerlan-Jobe Institute, team doctors of the LA Dodgers. So Kinsler, 22 home runs last year. He's had as many as 32 in a single season at the big league level. In the leadoff position. One year he had 31 stolen bases. Pops it up to first base. Should be an easy play for Bellinger. It is, and there's 1 down. So Kinsler pops out. That'll bring on Mike Trout, who, believe it or not, is human after all. He struck out his first time up tonight, the first time he has struck out this spring.
Well, Ryu threw a great curveball 0-2 to Trout. The bottom fell out of it. He threw one to Maldonado, by the way, a really good one to end the 2nd inning for the Angels. So his curve has been good tonight.
So Trout last year missed over 50 games with injuries. Still hit .306, 33 home runs, knocked in 72, stole 22. He walked 4 more times than he struck out. 0-1 pitch. Fly ball, center field, coming on Taylor, can't make the catch. Drops in front of him. No chance at all for Taylor to catch that ball. 1 out single by Trout. He's aboard.
Well, that one got in on Trout a little bit also. Taylor playing deep. The power of Mike Trout. Barnes setting up inside. Either that or he got it off the end of the bat.
Trout to be held at first base by Bellinger. Mentioned earlier that the Angels have been running this spring. They have 20 stolen bases. They've been caught 7 times. Dodgers are really at 500. They have stolen 9. They have been caught 9 times. Breaking ball for a strike, 0-1 to Upton, who struck out his first time up. Say one thing about Hyun-Jin Ryu. The curveball that was inconsistent the last time we saw him is much, much better tonight. Here's the 0-1. Little jam shot. Another blooper to center field. It's going to drop in. 2 hops picked up by Taylor. Bobbles the ball, and even if he feels it cleanly, over to third goes Mike Trout. Runners at the corners for the Angels with 1 out.
Yeah, Trout was going to third no matter what. He was his own coach right there. Taylor would not have had a play on him. Better off to keep a double play in order with Pujols coming up.
So 2 bloop singles, almost the identical spot. Just to the right is straightaway center. 2 little flow jobs. But runners at the corners first and third for Albert Pujols. And if you're thinking, well, last time up, Pujols grounded out to second base. He is a prototypical double play type of a hitter with the lack of speed that he has. The question is, with his swing, he may be slow and he may have had some foot issues. He can still swing the bat, in particular if he gets a good pitch. Ryu is sent at the belt, checks the run over at first, and delivers. That's inside, ball 1. Albert Pujols.
Interesting watching Trout, Rick, because he's got that brace on his left hand with a thumb. He tore the ligament last year, but he slid into third base head first and with the right hand hitting the bag.
0-1, popped up, shallow center, backing up, taking Hernandez coming in as Taylor. Trout's going to tag, and Hernandez catches the ball, did a good job, fired it back in a hurry, and Trout has to hold.
Bellinger got to the spot in front of the mound. On a short hop, he picked it. There would have been a play at home plate, and not worth trying it for Trout, especially at this point of the spring. And with what this game means, you don't want to lose Trout, just like the Dodgers lost Turner. Turner couldn't help what happened to him. That ball just ran in on him when he got hit.
And nowhere to go. Here's Zach Cozart. Cozart also has a bloop single, a little flare to shallow center field. So 4 hits off of Hyun Jin Ryu. Only 1 has been hit crisply. Cozart, right-handed batter, takes upstairs, ball 1. Cozart again with that single, his first time up, now has a 6-game hitting streak going. Angels trying to get the postseason. They had not been there since 2014 when they won the American League Western Division, but then lost to the Royals in the National League Division Series 3-0. And for Mike Scioscia, the longest tenured manager in baseball, in his 19th year. 2-time American League Manager of the Year, former Dodger catcher, played on 2 World Championship teams with the Dodgers. A strike in there, 2-1. What is the note about Scioscia? You look at managers that have come on. He is only, well, he's the 3rd manager that with his first team has been with them at least 18 consecutive years. But come on. So he took over at the helm. The 2 guys that are ahead of him, Walt Alston and Tommy Lasorda.
That's amazing. It really is. Because Mike had a chance to go to Tampa Bay. And I know he sought some advice from Tommy and I believe Fred Clare, if I'm not mistaken, at the time. And they said, not the right place for you yet.
3-1 is hit foul into the Dodgers' third base dugout. That will scatter some boys in blue.
And that's not when Joe Madden got the job. That was way before Joe Madden. So Mike did not go to Tampa Bay. He ends up interviewing with the Angels. Bill Stoneman was the general manager then at the time. At the winter meetings, they were in Laguna Beach that particular year at that Ritz-Carlton. I remember Mike walking in and saying, I'm a little bit late. Where do I go? I said, this place is big. I don't know. Good luck.
So the last postseason appearance in 2014, Angels had not won a playoff game in 9 years now. 3-2. There goes the runner, and there goes Cozart, who is just frozen as he looks. That's called strike 3. And for Hyun Jin Ryu, that is his 5th strikeout. So 2 bloop singles, runners left at the corners, and the Angels, they leave a pair of runners. We head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Good night so far for Ryu. Good night for the Dodgers. They lead 1-0. 1-0 Dodgers on the come on the home run by Yasiel Puig. His first of the spring. Kike Hernandez starting at second base tonight, batting the 9th position. Both clubs using the designated hitter. And up and in and exit the area in a hurry. Ball 1. For Kike, 3 home runs so far this spring. Hitting at .282. Ball's outside. 2 balls and no strikes. For Kike Hernandez, that dream game. National League Championship Series against the Cubs at Wrigley Field, hit 3 home runs, and he just left the building here. Does it stay fair? Does it go foul? And it is a fair ball, a home run. Kike Hernandez with his 4th of the spring. Well, we talked about the magical night he had at Wrigley Field last night. A curtain call for Kike. He leaves the yard here tonight.
You crush it. He doesn't miss too many fastballs. 2-0 count right there. Let's take a look again. Oh, yeah, that one ran back over the plate.
Yeah, and it ran out of the ballpark, too.
In a hurry.
So a home run. Dodgers now with 2 home runs tonight. That's 46 for the spring. Chris Taylor, the leadoff hitter, comes on. There's been some high fives 2 different times in the Dodgers dugout. Taylor takes up high. Ball 1. That trip around the diamond. Kike Hernandez home run, sponsored also by Daniels Jewelers, giving you a $50 gift card for every home run. Now go to danielsjewelers.com to claim yours and save on stunning diamond jewelry, perfect for Mother's Day. Daniels Jewelers, making diamond dreams come true since 1948. High hop up, shallow left center field. It's going to be Justin Upton under it, and he makes the catch. First out here in the 3rd. Upton telling you, Mike Trout, yeah, the lights are not the same here as they will be.
No.
During the Freeway Series and during the regular series. When you come into Major League Ballpark, as Corey Seager steps in, he's 0 for 1, fouled out to third. A monstrous season last year again for Seager. Out in front of the off-speed little roller. And Berea picks it up and throws 2 down. But when you look at Major League Ballparks, as Kike Hernandez just going through it, yeah, I got the pitch right there, and the bat came through. And Major League Ballparks, you look down on the field, you do not see shadows being cast. Well, if you look down on this one, for those that are joining us in the simulcast and television side, you can see, yes, there's a shadow as we're looking from home plate. Shadows of the players to the left and to the right.
Yep. It's a great stadium, and they're good lights, but the big league lights are just like daytime almost.
Matt Kemp stepping in, and takes a strike and an off-speed pitch inside on the corner.
Anybody that's spent a lot of time in the minor leagues and finally gets to the big leagues for that first time, it's like night and day.
They notice the size of the stadium, the gigantic crowd, and oh my goodness, look at the lights.
Yeah, I can see the ball.
0-1 pitch is fouled off and out of play. I mean, it is tough. And when you're in the minor league level in some of those lower classification leagues, now they have upgraded a lot of the ballparks.
They have.
And this is a dandy ballpark.
Sure have.
But boy, there was some over the years that there was a reason you wanted some young eyes to be able to see the baseball being thrown 90 to 100 miles an hour. Pitches down low, 1-2. And then you get a guy that throws 100, a little bit higher. Some of those ballparks in the past, you turn to the umpire and say, it sounded low.
Did you see it? I heard the glove pop.
Kemp just hovers over home plate. That's a stance that he's had all the different years. Ball is fouled off, out of play. Kemp will step in with his right foot. But that's not where he's going to keep it. He'll step in with his right foot, then with his left foot, then his right foot will go forward again, and sometimes 3 times. And there's 3 times, 4 times tonight. 1-2 pitch. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nervous feet, as we call him. But boy, once he gets his feet settled, he can unleash some power. This could be a gigantic year for Matt Kemp. Sarri's had some big ones, but it is really a rejuvenated Matt Kemp. Slider, and that's going to do it. But not before the leadoff home run by Kike Hernandez. Berea has struck out 4. Hyun-Jin Ryu has struck out 5. But the Dodgers, they lead it 2-0 after a couple of home runs, long distance. First one by Puig, the second one by Hernandez. 2-0 Dodgers to the 4th. Dodgers have 2 hits, and they made both of them count. Home runs by Puig and by Hernandez. They have a 2-0 lead here in the 4th inning. Cole Calhoun starts it off. Hyun-Jin Ryu struck out 5 in the game. And the first pitch is a check swing and a foul ball, 0-1. Calhoun, left-handed batter. Simmons on deck, and then Valbuena. Infield to pull, outfield really shading the other way. And a foul off at home plate, the count 0-2.
Good curveball again.
For those on TV, take a moment, talk amongst yourself. And for those on radio, we're going to step aside 10 seconds for station identification of the Dodgers Radio Network. No balls and 2 strikes. Rio delivers, little ground ball to Hopper to shortstop. Seager up with it, throws to first, 1 out. Interesting also with Corey Seager, when you look at him, you know, it used to be, you say, well, you field the ball with 2 hands, you get the ball and you field it in front. Well, Chris Woodward, the third base coach, also works with the infielders, and he really teaches the one-handed catch.
I know that. Yeah, that's right. And he believes you have more range, more length by doing that.
Andrelton Simmons. He's hit the only ball really sharply for the Angels. Single to right field. Well, the Angels have 4 hits, 3 of them almost the identical spot. Bloopers into shallow right center field. Strike in there, 0-1. A different look at Hyun-Jin Ryu tonight versus the last time we saw him just a few days ago. There's called strike 2.
Another good curveball.
So that was a pitch that they looked at the spin rate. Well, how fast is a ball spinning? Revolutions per minute last year for Hyun-Jin Ryu, 2,251 revolutions per minute. It's gone up to 2,500 and something this spring. What does that do? Well, I don't understand the formula to figure it out, but it's a tighter break with the tighter rotation on the curveball. 0-2 pitch. High bouncer, going to be trouble coming in. Seager picks it up, throws, and it's in time. Nice play by Seager. Fielded it in one motion and throws 2 down.
And he fielded that one with 2 hands because of a high hopper. He had a quick transfer by doing that. Big chopper in front of the plate, all in one motion. Nice release by Seager. Threw a strike over there to Bellinger.
Valbuena stepping in. Valbuena is out of Venezuela. Signed originally with the Mariners. He has seen big league action with the Mariners, the Indians, the Cubs, Astros, and last year with the Angels. 117 games of the big league club. Left-handed batter takes outside ball 1. Valbuena went down on a check swing, called third strike. His first time up, Rio delivers, and it's down low, 2-0. These two ball clubs will square off in Anaheim on Sunday. And then at Dodger Stadium, your first look at the Dodgers on Monday and Tuesday night. Opening day against the Giants a week from today. Fly ball hit well to right center field. Chris Taylor going back. All he can do is look up. It is gone. Luis Valbuena with his 3rd home run of the spring. And the Angels are on the board. 3 runs in the game, all home runs, 2 by the Dodgers, and now Valbuena hits 1 for the Angels.
Well, he went out and got it. That was a changeup. We noticed, and we mentioned this last time he started when we were working together. He doesn't throw many changeups to lefties. At least he did in last year. That was a changeup. And he went down on his left knee to reach that pitch and drive it out of the ballpark. Valbuena did.
A good catch by a fan. Like about 8 rows. In right center field, so it's 2-1 Dodgers. Martin Maldonado takes inside. Off the plate, a curveball, ball 1.
Interesting call right there on Valbuena.
And the pitch is swung on to miss, 1-1.
There's a changeup to the right-handed hitting power hitter Maldonado.
But that changeup was up in the strike zone.
Sure was.
It was away, but it was high.
Yep. Doesn't mean you can't throw a changeup to a lefty if you're a left-hander. If it's down, it's an out. It's a ground ball.
1 ball and 1 strike.
But Ryu's changeup is one of his best pitches. That's why he's so successful getting right-handers out.
Breaking ball for a strike, 1 and 2. And Rio comes right back and gets called strike 3. For Hyun-Jin Ryu, gave up the 2-out home run of changeup, but that's his 6th strikeout. Angels get on the board through 3.5. Camelback Ranch, Glendale, with days dwindling in spring training. Opening day right around the corner. It's 2-1 Dodgers. Rivalry matchups, along with great promotions such as bobbleheads, kids giveaways, and Friday night fireworks. So don't get left out. Visit Dodgers.com/mini-plans. 2-1 Dodgers. And here in the 4th inning, Bellinger, Puig, and Forsythe against the 21-year-old right-hander Jaime Barria. And again, for Barria, went up the ladder, A, AA, and AAA last year. A strike in there to Bellinger. Bellinger last year with 39 home runs. And yet he did not break camp with the big league ball club. Projected to come up on September 1st. Well, that plan changed with injury to Adrian Gonzalez. Talk about a whirlwind season for Cody Bellinger. Wow. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, it really ended up forcing a trade. The trade of Adrian Gonzalez to Atlanta, along with Kazmir and McCarthy and Matt Kemp coming back.
Left-handed batter, infield to pull. The outfield's the opposite way. And the pitch is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much outfield depth, Rick, that Bellinger's normal spot was first base anyway, even though he played left field a lot.
Bellinger, very upright stance, holds the bat high. Here's the pitch, and it's a changeup that misses outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk to Bellinger.
That sequence right there is what Bellinger's going to see a lot of this year. A lot of off-speed pitches to start the sequence. A couple of fastballs he tried to throw up, and then try to get him to change up away.
George Lombard going over and talking to Bellinger, pointing out where the outfield is, and the outfield is very deep, in particular in center. Mike Trout moves over to right center field. Puig homered his first time up tonight. If you missed it, well, if you weren't listening to the radio or watching on television, you may have still heard it in Southern California. Oh, did he hit for Puig? His first of the spring.
Looked like it short hopped the clubhouse, the back of the clubhouse wall over there, way over the left field fence, over the bleachers.
1-0. The ball's inside. Remember how we used to say distance, and that was long distance on the home run? We used to say, well, that was a $2 cab fare.
Yeah.
Well, now it's a $5 cab fare.
Yeah, it is.
Same distance.
Different era.
It's a $5 cab
That's
fare.
right. Cost has gone up.
Two 2-0 to Yasiel. Forsythe on deck. Swing and a miss. Good fastball, and I don't know what the speed of the swing was, but I'll say it equaled the speed of the pitch coming in.
Hey, 2-0. You're going to take a shot at one. Why not? Let it go. Just pulled off it. You got a fastball that ran in a little bit, but he had a big swing as he pulled off of
If he had connected on that, would have landed in Scottsdale.
He would have passed the other one, that's for sure.
Setting up outside, and the pitch is away, and it's fouled off to right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Leadoff walk to Bellinger. And a catch made by a fan and acknowledged by a good crowd.
Sold out crowd tonight.
Well, there's only a few spring training games left. 2-2, and it's hit out of play. We can say that for both Arizona and with Florida. Just the Cactus League, Florida the Grapefruit League, because every major league team will start on the same day this year,
which is
next
amazing.
Thursday. Dodgers will have Kershaw on opening day against the Giants and Madison Bumgarner. Opening day. 2-2 on the way, just outside. Fastball that missed. Count full 3-2.
Whereas been upset that some of his breaking stuff has not been called for a strike all night long. But
home plate umpire Brian Fields, who is one of the minor league call-ups, helping out in spring training. 91 different umpires. 72 are full-time major league umpires, and then the other ones are brought up. But Mr. Fields is hearing it from Mr. Scioscia and his first base Angel dugout.
Yeah, that outside corner to right-handers, Barrios felt like he's been squeezed about 4 times on breaking stuff.
Bellinger over at first, and they'll throw over to first to try and get him diving back in, which they do, and he's there in plenty of time.
Maldonado is a really pretty good defensive catcher that can throw. He's got good arm speed. Gets it down there in about 1.9 seconds. He's a pretty good receiver, too. He doesn't move the glove too much. So just hold it for a beat for the umpire to give him a good look.
The 3-2, runner not going at first, and it's fouled off. Well, keep in mind that Maldonado was also a Gold Glove recipient for last year's work behind the plate.
Yeah, they're very happy with him. Mike Scioscia is extremely happy with the game that Maldonado called, the leadership he showed behind the plate, and his defensive skills.
Maldonado peeking over at first base to see the lead that Bellinger had. He was not going the last pitch. We'll see if he's going here. Puig waits. Bellinger not going. It's another foul ball.
Tell you what, Puig is on every pitch he's throwing, whether it be the fastball or the curveball in this sequence. He's not missed any of them. He might have fouled them off, but he's right on them.
There's Maria Como. The pitch has been a pretty good weapon tonight, the off speed. He's been right on the fastball. He being Yasiel Puig. 3 balls and 2 strikes, nobody out.
We'll try to drop it in the dirt if he does.
2-1 Dodgers. Dodgers with 2 home runs. Puig and Hernandez. Angels on the board with a home run by Valbuena.
No, fastball away is coming here.
Yasiel waits, and the pitch is hit sharply to right field. Bellinger had to hold to make sure he was not hit with the ball. So he advances down to second base. Puig is 2 for 2. That ball was smoked, and a good at bat fouled off a lot of different pitches, and 2 on, nobody out.
That was a great at bat by Puig. He was on every pitch. There was nowhere for Maldonado, the catcher, to go to get him out. So he did the safety pitch, fastball away, but it was up, and Puig stayed on it and shot it right through the hole on the right side.
Mike Scioscia making a trip out to the mound and taking the ball from his 21-year-old right-hander, Jaime Barria. So we have a pitching change. Dodgers, a couple of runners on base, nobody out here in the 4th inning. Logan Forsythe, the batter, will step aside, take a break, come back with more at Camelback Ranch, Glendale, right after this. From Boston last August by the Angels. So he had spent parts of 3 different seasons at the big league club with the Red Sox. He faces Logan Forsythe. Bellinger had a leadoff walk. He's at second. Puig single. He's over at first. Nobody out. 2-1 Dodgers. Sweeping curveball. It's outside. 1-0.
He finished up in the big leagues with the Angels. Rick, he got into 10 ball games. 2.16 earned run average.
Acquired on waivers the 18th of August last year. Noe Ramirez, who delivers to Forsythe, taking all the way. It's in there, 1-1.
He shoots that ball out of his right side of his uniform top. He's not right over the top, and he's not sidearmed. But
Ramirez out of Cal State Fullerton. His junior year, he was second-team All-American honors. Forsythe takes a strike, and now the count 1-2. The Forsythe again hit by a pitch on his left foot last year that really slowed him down. Then he came back and he had the hamstring issue. And now pressed into service to move over to third base with the injury and the loss, at least for a number of weeks. How long, we don't know, for Justin Turner. Pitch fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Of course, the Dodgers, if you look at last year, the Dodgers really set the tone in baseball. And if you look at the direction that baseball is going, the Dodgers really in the forefront of using so many players that can play and play well multiple positions.
Right.
In particular, coming off the bench where you don't have someone who's just one-dimensional. Forsythe waits, and Ramirez with a 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball, that's outside, 2-2.
Kind of a slurvy breaking ball that he's got. His fastball has a little sink to it. That's all we've seen so far. Fastball, slider.
Ramirez 6'3", 195. He has 139 days of service at the big league level. Misses outside with a curveball. It's 3-2. So Forsythe's gone from a 1-2 count now to 3-2. Bellinger at second. Puig's over at first. Outfield is deep. In the infield, the shortstop Simmons is playing up the middle. There's a big hole to the left side of the infield. Runners leading off. Ramirez inherits 2 runners. Waiting for it is Forsythe. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's hit line down the left field line, just foul. That ball landed in foul territory about 25 feet past the third base bag on a vicious line drive. Forsythe, one of those players, you get the feeling he does not want you to know if he's having a good day, if he's having a bad day, and I say that as a compliment.
Yeah, it is.
He's one of those players that you walk in, and boy, you really admire the players. You walk into a ball game and you can't tell if they're 0 for 4 or if they're 5 for 5. It's full tilt. They don't sell themselves short. They don't sell anybody else short. Ramirez set, and the payoff pitch, called strike 3.
Forsythe was headed to first base. So the Angels had not liked some of the calls from home plate umpire Brian Fields, and Forsythe did not like that one.
That was a fastball that Maldonado brought that up. It looked like it was down, and it was down, and he brought the glove up, and he got the call. And I always contend when you move the glove that much, you're telling the umpire it's a ball. I'm trying to fool you into believing it's a strike.
First out of the inning, Jock Peterson walked on a 3-2 pitch, his initial at bat. And Forsythe rather dejectedly goes back to the Dodgers' third base dugout. Mike Trout, center fielder, and obviously he is a good one. But we've noticed him for the most part playing slightly the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's right.
So left-handed batter, and Peterson playing slightly over into left center field against Forsythe, who's playing slightly over into right center field. Still a big gap left side of the infield. Simmons really behind. Simmons may be a little closer to the second base bag than Bellinger as it leads off. 1 ball and no strikes. Jock Peterson waits, and he takes a curveball for a strike outside corner. You look at last year. The Dodgers, of course, got off to not exactly a blazing start. It was a good start in the month of April, but they had a couple of guys that really got off to blazing starts themselves. April, they were 14-12. It was 19-9, their record in May. Peterson waits. Here's the 1-1. Hit foul, and there was a pickoff play because getting up to throw the ball was Maldonado, and Simmons was sneaking into the second base bag.
Yeah, he will do that at second base. He'll do that at first base as well. Pujols will put a sign on. A lot of times he'll take his glove off like Pujols is doing right now. And the catcher will answer by sometimes just taking some dirt and tossing it his way. Just to acknowledge that I've got it. I'm going to throw behind the runner. Yeah. Tough to do with a left-handed batter, though.
You catchers over the years are sneaky lot.
Yeah, it's fun. If you can throw, it's a blast.
1-2 pitch. Way down and missed. That ball was outside. Kind of indecision on Jock Peterson. That was a late swing.
Yeah, off-speed pitch. Again, he's got a slurvy curve, and he's got that turns it over changeup. Good movement, fading away.
Well, Ramirez, Southern California product and L.A. product, has come in. He inherited runners at first and second. He has struck out 2 in a row. Here's Austin Barnes, a strikeout victim looking in the second inning. Bellinger still at second. Puig is over at first. 2-1 Dodgers. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Ramirez set. Big breaking ball outside corner, 1-1.
He calls that his changeup, Ramirez. He throws it anywhere from 84 to 87 miles an hour. A lot of movement. And he turns it over a little bit. So almost looks like a screwball.
Right-handed batter. And Mike Trout moves over to right center field. He has not played a batter to pull yet tonight. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside.
That's
1 ball and 1 strike.
Interesting, Rick. You being a center fielder and a great one, what would the reason be for all that?
Well, just looking at Ramirez, primarily he's gone breaking balls away from right-handed batters. And he got Peterson with a changeup outside corner. Yep. So they're really playing the defense according to how they're working to the Dodger hitters.
And that would be Mike Scioscia game plan.
1-1. And that pitch is outside corner, fouled off, 1-2.
That's what the Dodgers used to do. Pitched according to, the defense was according to how you're going to pitch and how much command your pitcher had.
These two ball clubs are also very similar in, well, at least 2 categories. We mentioned the defense, but Dave Roberts from day one emphasized the base running. It's the same thing on Mike Scioscia's agenda.
That's right.
1-2. And Ramirez backs off the mound. Scioscia is really a believer in particular of going first to third, forcing mistakes. And that is an area that also Dave Roberts addressed. He goes, hey, look, I was in the other dugout against you guys with San Diego. And he's the bench coach for Buddy Black. He goes, you guys didn't run the bases very well, nor very aggressively. Well, they have now. 1-2 pitch.
Grounded to shortstop. Simmons, the Gold Glover, goes over to second base to Kinsler, and that is going to do it. Promising inning, a walk and a single, and the Dodgers lead 2 runners on base. We head to the 5th inning. Still remains on the board. Dodgers lead the Angels 2-1.
Top of the 5th inning, 2-1 Dodgers. And it's the top of the order for the Angels. Kinsler, Trout, and then Upton. As a reminder, Chevy Silverado, strong, capable, and built to stand the test of time. The most dependable, long-lasting, full-size pickup on the road. And find new roads at your local SoCal Chevy dealer. Kinsler is 0 for 2. He's flying to center, popped out to first. Hyun-Jin Ryu, who has struck out 6 tonight. The lone blemish was the home run with 2 outs to Luis Valbuena on a changeup. But it has been a good night for Hyun-Jin Ryu. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and a little blooper into right center field, and coming on is Taylor and makes a good running catch. Well, 3 of the 4, I think that 3 of the 5 hits by the Angels have been little flares into shallow right center field tonight.
Yeah, looked like another one, but Taylor ran that one down, hung up there too long. Kinsler is not afraid to swing the bat. He's not up there to walk, that's for sure.
Not up there to walk, not up there to paint. Here's a guy who's been painting. I mean, when you come on and you're drawing comparisons to Mantle at an early stage in their career, or Willie Mays. I mean, this is for Trout again. This is the 7th year he's made the All-Star team 6 consecutive times. Infield's playing with the shift, and a strike taken by Mike Trout, who showed he was human in the first inning. He finally struck out for the first time this spring. Stop the presses. You got a new lead story. He also singled to center on a blooper.
That was a pitch right there that normally would have been a strike. That's that one you're talking about, Rick. That was not that high, that fastball.
1-1, and the pitch is down low. 2 balls and a strike.
If you throw it below the letters, you'd think you'd get a strike out of that.
Well, there was an umpire, and a good one, just retired a number of years ago, Bruce Fremming. And you look at the rule book, and the rule book says X, Y, and Z as far as the low part and the high part of a strike zone. Here's the 2-1 to Trout. That's upstairs, 3 balls and 1 strike. Bruce Fremming said, look, that's not really the strike zone. The strike zone. I said, well, explain it to me. He says, well, if you stack 3 baseballs above the belt buckle on a uniform, that's just about where the high point of a strike zone is.
Yep.
Theoretically, 3-1 pitch, hit up the knuckles. 1 hopper to Seager. He'll have an easy play. And they're 2 down. So 3 baseballs above the belt buckle. That's high. That's not called a strike all the time.
It's not, no.
For Hyun-Jin Ryu, a good night indeed to this point. He has been efficient. He has thrown a couple of curveballs that have been knee bucklers. One of them thrown to Justin Upton, who struck him out back in the first inning. Upton also had a bloop single. He's 1 for 2. The ball's down low, ball 1.
I heard something the other day that it's actually true what's going on. It used to be the width of the strike zone. The game was east and west. You can get the outside corner, several inches off the outside corner.
Shift is on, line drive, knocked down at second base behind the bag in the outfield grass by Kike Hernandez, who gets up and throws him out. What a night that Kike Hernandez has had. He's left the building with a home run, and he just robbed Justin Upton of a base hit. They were playing with the shift, and Hernandez diving to his left, knocked the ball down. It bobbled away from him, got up, and then threw out a very speedy Justin Upton. Great play. And for Hyun-Jin Ryu says, thank you very much. He goes 1, 2, 3 through the inning. Through 4.5, still 2-1. Dodgers on top.
Big defensive play, and the man that make the play leads off the next half inning. Well, that's what takes place after a dazzling diving stop by Kike Hernandez. First pitch is slammed to third base, and Sherman Johnson, just taking over for Zach Cozart, leaps up and robs Hernandez of a base hit. Another solid line drive.
Boy, that's a hanging slider, and he hit a bullet. And the first play in the game for Sherman Johnson comes right to him. Snow coned it, but he caught it.
1 out. Johnson just in the game for Cozart. Chris Taylor is the batter. Interesting story and a good read in the Orange County Register by our good friend Bill Plunkett about Kike Hernandez today. There's a strike on a breaking ball, 0-1. Taylor is 0 for 2. And the crux of the story is that Kike is tired of being labeled as just as a left-handed pitching killer. He said, look, I want to play more against right-handers. And he has held his own tonight against right-handers. And with the injury to Justin Turner, it's going to be interesting to see the direction that Dave Roberts and the Dodgers go, using Hernandez at various positions as they did last year.
Yeah. Well, that might be one of the reasons that Hernandez got a start against a right-hander tonight.
Taylor waits. Here's the 0-2. Little bouncer. 2 hoppers. Politely back to the mound. Ramirez picks it up and throws, and there are 2 outs. But interesting with Kike. Everybody says, well, he hits well against lefties. True. He's hit .270 against left-handers. And that is considerably higher than what he has hit against right-handers in his career. Kike says it's something he has worked on a great deal. And will he be in there against Madison Bumgarner, who he has multiple home runs against on opening day a week from today at Dodger Stadium against the Giants?
I don't think there's a doubt.
Corey Seager takes the first pitch up and in. Ball 1-0.
Last time that Bumgarner faced Kike after those home runs, all he saw were curveballs, sliders, that cutter / slider that he throws. Curveball, that's all he saw.
1-0. Well, we'll find out. Obviously, we go along. But .270 career against lefties for Kike Hernandez. The right-handers we talked about, .207. Wouldn't know it tonight. He's hit 2 absolute rockets. One went out of the ballpark. The other one went into a glove. 2-0 pitch. Seager, high drive right field. Did he get all of it? Going back Calhoun, and you can kiss it. Adios. Corey Seager with his second home run of the season. The Dodgers with 3 home runs tonight have hit 47 this spring. They hit 3 home runs against the A's here on Monday.
Maldonado wanted that ball down and away, and I believe that was his changeup, but it hung up there. Didn't fade down and away. It was about belt high.
Well, it faded away, not down and away, faded off into the night in right field. So home runs tonight by Puig in the second inning, Hernandez in the third, and with 2 outs here in the 5th, Corey Seager leaves the building. It's 3-1 Dodgers.
That's good to see, though, that Seager's hitting off-speed stuff, because he's going to get a lot of that this year. He took a bad changeup out of the ballpark.
Breaking ball outside to Kemp. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, that third trip of the night around the diamond, sponsored by Daniels Jewelers, giving you a $50 gift card for every home run. So go to danielsjewelers.com/LA to claim yours and save on stunning diamond jewelry perfect for Mother's Day. Daniels Jewelers, making diamond dreams come true since 1948. 3 home runs, and none of them have been daintily hit. Kemp takes a strike, 2-1.
You know, I was going to say the game used to be east and west in the zone. Now it's north and south. Guys have to pitch up in the zone, and they pitched down in the zone.
Ball outside, 3-1.
Used to be years ago, before the umpires really got scrutinized now and are graded like they are. You could make the 17-inch plate about 22 inches wide. That's not true anymore. So pitchers got to come in. And because there's so many guys that are trying to launch, there's a lot of pitchers now that are trying to throw the 4-seam fastball high.
3-1 pitch. Little breaking ball. Little 3-hopper down to shortstop. And Kemp is thrown out, and that is going to do it. But not before Corey Seager gets into the home run trot. Lines up with his second of the spring training. Dodgers' 3rd home run of the night.
We have completed 5 innings of play, and checking the scoreboard, Dodgers lead to the Angels 3-1. Opening day a week from today. Just a limited number of season tickets are still available, and you can secure your seats to enjoy all the action as the Dodgers look to once again dominate the National League Western Division. So don't get left out. Visit Dodgers.com/season tickets. Pedro Baez, the last couple of outings has been much better. This is the 7th appearance for the hard-throwing right-hander. Well, his record is 1-0. He's worked 5 2/3 in the A games, as we have here tonight, but 10 hits and a .385 batting average against him. But the last outing that we had with Pedro Baez, he was aggressive. Shift is on for Albert Pujols, who will lead it off for the Angels. Dodgers on top 3-1. 1 run, 5 hits for the Angels. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers, and 3 of the 4 hits have been home runs. Puig, Hernandez, and Seager. 1 ball and no strikes to Pujols, who's 0 for 2. He is grounded to second. It popped out to second.
Baez shaking off Barnes. He wanted to change up. Then he called a slider, and Baez didn't want it.
Breaking ball swung on and missed. 1-1.
Sherman Johnson is on deck. He took over for Cozart at third base. So Pedro Baez. Delivers in the count now 1-2. It was announced that Sherman Johnson had taken over at third base, but it's Cozart that is in the on-deck circle.
Sure is.
Ground ball to second base. So the 3rd time tonight that Pujols has hit the ball to second baseman, twice on the ground and once in the air.
That's good when you keep Pujols on the ground. That's not what Albert wants.
No, it is Sherman Johnson that takes over. Cozart, by the way, he might have had to leave early tonight to go feed his donkey. And that story was with Joey Votto last year with the Cincinnati Reds. Votto told Cozart,
"That's right.
if you make the All-Star team, I'm going to buy you a donkey."
That's right. Thank you.
Well, Cozart made the All-Star team. The donkey has yet to arrive in California. Cozart and his family still searching for an abode that they can settle into. So the donkey will be arriving sometime soon. But the donkey already has a name. Donald Duck. Yeah, Donald Duck. Strike in there to Sherman Johnson.
Is that because they're in Anaheim or what?
No, it's because the favorite character of Cozart's son is Donald Duck.
Okay. Well, he's in the Donald Duck area now, too. So there you go.
So Cozart is actually hitting. But Johnson came in to play defense. And Cozart just hit one to left field and forget it. Donald Duck just left the building. And we're not talking about the donkey. So Sherman Johnson came in to play defense in the last half inning. But it's Cozart. He's not away feeding his donkey. No, he's busy hitting a home run. And it's a 1-run game, 3-2 Dodgers.
Is that a new rule?
Wait, no, it's spring training.
Yeah, I know. That also tells me, I wonder if Cozart hurt himself to some degree where he could still hit. I mean, like maybe a tight leg or something.
Well, whatever it is.
He wanted one more at bat. And then Johnson probably would have pinch ran for him. Who knows?
Cole Calhoun. A donkey named Donald Duck. See, if you get a donkey and you name it Donald Duck, then you can have someone take over for you defensively. You can come on and hit, and you hit a home run.
Well, if you're going to put a runner at second base in the minor leagues in extra innings now, I guess you can. I guess you can do anything.
Neither one of us wants to get started on that one.
Well, that's why I brought it up. I had to. When I see a
the 1-0 liner into center, and for Chris Taylor comes on and makes a catch. Center fielders will tell you the most difficult play is the line drive. You don't know if it's going to be a knuckleball. You don't know if it's going to take off, if it's going to sink or drift. And an excellent jump by Chris Taylor.
Like it had some topspin on it, too. Picked it before it hit the ground.
And he picked it clean. 2 down. Here's Simmons, who is 1 for 2. There are some players around that are just very smooth. Those on the television side, a look at Cozart. Don't know if he's talking about the home run or. Hey, have you seen my donkey, Donald Duck?
Soon enough.
And Votto was true to his word. Everybody thought, no, he's not going to pay off. Cozart made the All-Star team. Votto will bow out some way. No, he didn't. Ground ball hit foul just past Dino Evil. Angels made some coaching changes this year. Dino Evil is coaching at third base. Alfredo Griffin is over at first. Ron Renicky, who had been the third base coach, and Dino Evil is the bench coach. Renicky went with Alex Cora to Boston in the Red Sox.
As the bench coach.
So it is Josh Paul now is the bench coach for Mike Scioscia.
I think Ron felt that he'd have a better chance getting back to manage again if he was a bench coach rather than going back and staying at third base. He's a third base coach.
He's a good baseball person. 1-2 pitch. And it's fouled off. 2-2.
It's not about his age either, because some people were saying today to us, well, he probably won't get another chance because he's from the old school. Ron was actually the first one that I remember that believed in the shift against right-handed batters, and Mike Scioscia didn't want to do it when he was coaching for him the first time. So when he went to Milwaukee, he started having 3 men on the left side of the infield against right-handed batters.
1-2. That's upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So Ron did indeed like the analytics and the shifts and all that.
Going for Renicky.
So I hope he gets another chance.
An outfield with the Dodgers. Dino Evil coached and managed for a number of years with the Dodgers. Alfredo Griffin was with the Dodgers. Mike Scioscia, of course.
Mickey Hatcher was with him for a long time and was let go a few years ago.
Now, Cozart has a donkey named Donald Duck. And our good friend, Mr. Hatcher, has a duck called Daffy Duck.
Now that I believe with Hatcher.
And Simmons a little daffy after seeing that pitch. Strike 3 thrown by Pedro Baez. A home run, a run across, a 1-run ball game. We've gone to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Camelback Ranch, Glendale.
And Felix Pena, the right-hander, comes in 25 games last year. In the area about almost 5 1/4. The third pitcher used by Mike Scioscia here tonight. Pena will work to Bellinger, Puig, and then Forsythe. The other change, Carlos Perez takes over behind the plate. And the other change that we had is that they announced that Sherman Johnson had taken over for Cozart as Bellinger checks the swing and he gets rung up for a check swing strike 1-1. Well, Cozart did not leave the game, as we're discovering now. He moved to second base. 1-1 to Bellinger. Big swing. And
Well,
now 1-2.
I'm glad to hear they didn't change the rules in spring training like that. So there's nothing wrong with Cozart then. So Kinsler came out.
1-2, and it's fouled off. So we catch up. That's not how it was announced, but
Another Felix Pena, mainly fastball slider, can hit 97 with his fastball. His four-seamer.
Bellinger hits it foul down the right field line. Isn't it amazing how much information you can find out about a player?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, their background, where they're from, so many different kind of side stories. 1-2 pitch. This ball is launched. Going back is Trout, and he's not going to get it, and nobody else is going to get it. High off the batter's eye and straightaway center, where it's 410 feet. Bellinger hits the home run. And for Cody Bellinger, his 4th of the season. The spring training, that's the 4th home run of the night. And the Dodgers are going long ball.
Well, there's 6 runs in this game, and they're all solo home runs so far. Dodgers with 4 of them. It's a fastball that is right in the wheelhouse. This location badly. Perez was away. The ball was middle in. Forget about it.
Well, here's another home run hitter tonight. Puig. Has been Puig, Hernandez, Seager, and now Bellinger. Dodgers lead at 4-2, and for Puig, not only a home run, he also has a base hit to right field on a 3-2 pitch. Pena delivers. Fastball in there from the tall, thin right-hander. So Bellinger, that really a storybook season last year. 0-1 pitch. It's way inside. Here's a story about Bellinger. He was asked, well, did you look at videotape of the World Series? And he admitted, he said, well, I really struggled during the series against the Astros. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to his left over third base is Johnson. He throws him out. That's 1 out. That putout goes 5-3. And Logan Forsythe will be the batter. And Cody Bellinger said, look, I didn't look at the video. He knows that he was there. He understood what took place. He looked at video after each and every game, but he understands he's going to have to make adjustments because other teams are tired of getting their head pounded against the wall with him hitting the ball hard. Here's Forsythe. First pitch, fly ball right field. Calhoun, 2 down. And it goes really hand in hand as a young player. You're going to have to make adjustments. The other teams make adjustments. By the way, in that home run hit by Bellinger, another trip around the diamond. It's also sponsored by Daniels Jewelers. And you can get a $50 gift card with every home run. Just go to danielsjewelers.com/LA to claim yours and save on stunning diamond jewelry perfect for Mother's Day. Daniels Jewelers, making diamond dreams come true since 1948. Here's Peterson, has walked and struck out.
The thing that I see with Cody is that when he gets a pitch that he normally hits, he doesn't miss it. That's the thing. They might throw him a lot of changeups and breaking balls, and sometimes they'll chase and all that, but when
fouled off 1-1.
When they miss location on the fastball, when they're trying to go up and it's in his wheelhouse, he normally does not miss it or foul it off. He hits it out of the ballpark. And that's what he did right there. That ball was supposed to be away. It was middle in.
Ball up and away, swung on and missed. Peterson in his 5th major league season. And it has been a struggle to this point in spring training. Came on tonight hitting at 178. But he's working on some things. It hasn't clicked yet. Ball's up and away 2-2. As Dave Roberts says, he was too rotational. In other words, twisting. And twisting above the waist a little bit too soon. The right shoulder is flying out. It's like the chin is attached.
Surround the ball too. Doing that.
2-2 pitch. And he pulled off of that one. Swung at a pitch outside, maybe even off the plate. And for Jock Peterson, it's been a tough night. He's 0 for 2 strikeouts and a walk. But Cody Bellinger went long distance, high off the center field wall. The 4th home run of the Dodgers tonight. We go to the 7th inning. It's 4-2 Dodgers on top. On the Dodgers Radio Network. Here in the 7th, and the Dodgers have a 4-2 lead. For the Dodgers, they go to the left-hander Alexander, who takes over. For Scott, delivers the first pitch, and he gets it in there. 0-1 to Luis Valbuena. So Valbuena last year, he's got the power numbers, and he was able to hit 22 home runs, but he just as soon had power failure when they were putting up on the scoreboards around the American League. The batting average is just $1.99.
It's amazing. Teams today don't care about batting average. A lot of teams don't anyway, as long as you have the power numbers.
Alexander delivers outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Alexander, the 8th game that he's worked at this spring. That's outside. Alexander 0-2. He's worked 6 2/3 innings. And in those 6 2/3, 6 hits, but 5 earned runs. So we've reached that point in the ball game. We're getting a lot of changes. The Dodgers made quite a few defensive changes. Valbuena backing out, had something in his eye, now puts on the helmet. Left-handed batter, so it's lefty against lefty. Wes Darville has taken over at first base. Kyle Farmer at third. Fly ball left field. Andrew Toles just in the ball game, catches it. Actually a line drive. There's 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Moises Perez is at second base. Trace Thompson in center. Donovan Casey has taken over in right field. And where they are going to bat, well, your guess is as good as ours.
Yeah, I think I got to wait on that one. They're not straight up anymore. They don't do that like they did back in the old days.
Carlos Perez, his first at bat since taking over for Martin Maldonado. Right-handed hitter. And for Casey Alexander, the lefty, in relief, the 3rd Dodger pitcher used tonight. Hyun-Jin Ryu went 5 innings. Very good innings. Gave up 1 run. That was on a home run. A solo blast on a changeup to Luis Valbuena. He walked 1 but struck out 6. And that curveball that he has really had as a project this spring was at times devastating. Swing and a miss, 2-1. So Carlos Perez. No, not that Carlos Perez. There were a few of them. What was it, I-275? He got lost.
Yeah, that was his brother.
Pitch for Atlanta.
Yeah, Pasquale.
Yeah, Pasquale.
That was Carlos's brother. Yep. Carlos was in Montreal.
2-2 on the way.
Of course, to the Dodgers.
Full 3-2.
Yeah, I remember the water cooler having a tough time one night after a tough outing for Carlos. Took a bat to it.
One other change at shortstop. Gavin Lux has taken over. So the only man that's still in the ball game starting lineup behind the plate. That being in Austin Barnes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And a strikeout by Alexander.
Sinker slider pitcher gets a lot of ground ball outs normally. Last year, this is an amazing stat. Dave Island, pitching coach for Kansas City, convinced him to stay with the sinker. He threw only 13 four-seam fastballs last year. So you might as well not even throw one.
Michael Hermosillo is the pinch hitter. Right-handed batter. Alexander sent, and he delivers. That's down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Top of the 7th inning is brought to you by Cedars-Sinai Kerlan-Jobe Institute, team doctors of the LA Dodgers. Two great team doctors.
That's for sure.
Dr. Robert Kerlan and Dr. Frank Jobe.
Most of us saw either one of those guys a time or two. I know I did. Dr. Jobe.
One of the things that gets overlooked with the Major League Baseball team is the medical department. Oh, it may be overlooked from the outside. It is not overlooked from the inside. So important every day. Strike in there, 3-1. And the trainers spend more time at the ballpark than anybody. Anybody. 3-1 is a foul ball, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that is true.
The old adage is, and especially in spring training, can't make the club in the tub being the whirlpool. I'll tell you what, the medical profession and what certified trainers are doing in Major League Baseball to keep players healthy enough to stay on the field and get those that are injured back on the field as soon as possible. So line drive is going to split the alleys in left center field. Andrew Toles will give way to Trace Thompson, and thinking about going for three, but holding up and diving back into the bag was Michael Hermosillo. So a double. He had ideas of trying to make it to third, but wisely held on to the Dodgers again. A very good cutoff and relay.
And Hermosillo showing pretty good speed to second base. First time I've seen him in person anyway. And he was looking three all the way until he saw the relay.
Austin Barnes, and something we're going to talk about during the season as well. Austin Barnes went about a third of the way to the mound to say something to Scott Anderson, the lefty, just in the ballgame. Well, home plate umpire motioned up the official score. That counts as a trip, one of 6 you could get during 9 innings. And Anderson delivers, and the runner's taking off for third and makes it a headfirst dive. Hermosillo had ideas of trying to make it a triple. He held on with a double, but said, I want to get to third base, and steals it.
Yeah, he can run. Saw that on the double. He could fly, and now we see it on the stolen base.
21st stolen base by the Angels this spring.
Kept his feet moving, but a pretty good throw by Barnes. A little bit high, but a quick tag by Farmer.
0-1 pitch. Trout is up there, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, that's a case that the stolen base was not against Austin Barnes, the catcher.
No.
It was against Scott Alexander, the pitcher, who did not make him stop at second. Here's the 1-1 to Mike Trout. Ground ball. That's through the left side. You can hold him down so long. Trout is 2 for 4 tonight. Knocks in a run, and again, it's a 1-run game, 4-3 Dodgers.
That's why the stolen base is still important. Now, Hermosillo's speed, he probably would have scored from second anyway, but at third base, you don't even have to think about it.
And Trout will get a pinch runner over at first base. Well, how important is the stolen base nowadays? Liriano is going to pinch run at first base. Justin Upton is the batter. And I say this, a discussion that you and I have had. Well, we had it at lunch the other day about stolen bases or lack thereof, or the importance of a stolen base now. How is the stolen base perceived? Because the stolen bases have gone down every decade.
Dramatically. Yeah.
And looking for the notes on that, but something we'll discuss here in a little bit. But there's another area, and maybe because of stolen bases being cut down.
Hermosillo.
0-2, and a bouncer in the dirt gets away from Barnes and going down to second base.
Yeah, Austin did not anticipate that one being in the dirt, because the ball was right in front of him. Tried to backhand a ball that bounced, and that's a no-no right there as a catcher. Got to turn the glove over, get your feet out from underneath you, and drop your knees to the ground and smother that one. Keep the tying run from getting to second base.
1-2 the count. 2 out. Runner at second base. Run across 4-3 Dodgers. Top of the 7th inning. A swing and miss, and that is going to do it. Couple of hits, a double, a stolen base, and an RBI single, and a runner left in scoring position. 7th inning stretch in the Valley of the Sun. A night game. 1 week away from spring training. 4-3 Dodgers lead. It's Thursday. There is a surprise addition to the Dodgers promotional schedule. And if you're one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance a week from tomorrow on Friday, March 30th against the Giants, you'll receive a special edition Kirk Gibson bobblehead presented by Bank of America. Just visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more details. Well, a sellout crowd tonight, 13,205. Ian Kroll, the left-hander, enters the ball game. Some wholesale changes that we'll pass along also defensively for the Angels. So Kroll, the first pitch was outside, and the next pitch is a pop-up to right field. And there's one down as Barnes flies out to right. Austin tonight is 0 for 3. Here's Toles coming on his first at bat. One of the many reasons that we look forward to spring training having the curtain come down and all the way down to the stage is you're not getting wholesale changes during games. Toles first ball swinging off the glove of Pujols, and Toles is going to be aboard. Pujols tried to backhand the ball and he just clanged it.
Simple as that. That was a routine play. With Toles' speed, he was going to have to get it to Kroll, but Kroll was over there, went straight to the bag. He was there plenty of time. He just clanked it.
So 1 out error. Trace Thompson, his first at bat, steps into the box. For Thompson, he's had a good spring. It comes at a good time for him. Just a week away from the season opening up. He's had a good spring. He's out of options. If the Dodgers do not keep him on that 25-man roster, if they're going to send him out, he would have to go through waivers, and he could be claimed by someone. That's a good spot actually for Thompson. Toles held at first, and Kroll delivers, and that's down low, ball 1. But for players and trying to leave their mark, it's been frustrating. The back injury last year to Trace Thompson, what it really looked, Kevin, as if he had finally grown into his body. He understood what he could do, and he was really hitting the ball very well before the back injury.
He showed power. He had a couple of game-winning home runs for the Dodgers a couple of years ago.
Swung on and missed 1 and 2, and a fastball that was elevated.
Can steal a base, plays 3 outfield positions.
Speaking of stealing bases, which I alluded to in the top of the 7th, and here we are in the bottom of the 7th. Dodgers on top 4-3. Dodgers getting the 4 runs on 4 home runs. Seager, Puig, Hernandez, and Bellinger have left the yard. 2 home runs by the Angels account for 2 of their 3 runs. Toles is going. The pitch is fouled back and out of play, 1 and 2. If we look at 1987 for stolen bases, we're talking about, well, the importance of injuries. Or stolen bases a liability for a team also with outs, guys that can't run? 1987, there were 3,585 stolen bases in Major League Baseball. So close to 3,600. 10 years later, it was barely 3,300. 2007, it was below 3,000. It's 2,918 to be exact. There goes Toles, and a quick throw down to second base, but it sails into center field, and Toles has a stolen base. He'll advance to third on the throwing end. As we're talking about stolen bases, Toles gets into it. So 2,918 stolen bases, 2007. Last year, barely 2,500. So the stolen base number overall in baseball has diminished significantly.
Yeah, a lot of managers just don't want to put guys in motion or have guys on their own because they want to play for the big inning. They don't want to run themselves out of an inning. But if you got a runner like Toles who has tremendous speed, Dave Roberts will run. He'll move some guys.
Infield plays in, and pitch is swung on and missed.
You know what?
Thompson's not able to get the run across. 2 down. Infield will now move back.
And you don't have to be a base stealer per se to run or steal a base. Justin Turner is great at that. If you give Justin Turner the base, you're not paying attention, he'll steal you 8-10 bases, and he'll steal big bases for you. That'll help you win a ball game.
Kyle Farmer's had a monstrous spring. 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, hitting close to 400. His first at bat in tonight's ball game. So stolen bases are down. There's another area And it figures there are not too many stolen bases now. Overall, the big picture. When's the last time you saw a pitch out?
Oh, I haven't seen one all spring.
Strike in there? Well, and there's a reason for it. Again, we'll go back a number of years. 2007 in Major League Baseball, there were 790 pitch outs. You think a runner is going and you pitch out to give the catcher a chance to throw the guy out. 790, 2007. Last year, as the 1-1 is on its way, it's inside 2-1, was the lowest total of pitch outs in over 30 years. Only 129.
That blows me away. And Mike Scioscia is usually the leader in pitch outs in all the years that he has managed in the big leagues.
2-1 offering.
Is hit off the fist foul and off to the right.
Well,
Back into the second.
for example, in this inning, if you were really paying attention to tolls, you might call a pitch out. If it was a game that, was a season game and it really mattered what the score was. Mike would have called a pitch out in that situation, but he didn't. And Perez didn't get a good pitch to throw on and threw it away.
2-2, and that's outside the count, full 3-2.
So I still think there's a value in the pitch out, but if teams aren't running against you, then there's no sense in doing it very much. But you've got to pick your spots. You've got to know who the runners are, and you got to know the organization and the manager you're managing against. Tendencies, when he runs, who he runs with.
Full count, 3-2, 2 outs. Tolles leads off at third. Kyle Farmer waiting at home plate, and he fouls it off. Here's another thing about stolen bases. Last year, there were only 3 players with 40-plus stolen bases. Dee Gordon, Billy Hamilton, and Trey Turner. There were also only 3 that had 40 or more stolen bases in 2015. Gordon, Hamilton, and Charlie Blackmon. Before 2015, there had not been 3 or less runners with 40 stolen bases or more since 1967. Pop up down the left field line, the collision with the shortstop. Justice and the left fielder makes the catch and holds on to the baseball. Dodgers miss a chance to score a run. They leave a runner at third base. No runs, no hits, an error, a stolen base, and a man left. We go to the 8th, 4-3 Dodgers lead. The Cajun, 25 games last year. Chargois has opened some eyes. And a lot of those eyes have been open, have been hitters. Because they have been challenged. This is his 8th game. And an ERA, yes, it's spring training, but 1.29. First pitch, fly ball to right field, but there's one out very quickly. As a reminder, it's Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event. Get amazing deals like low APRs and great leases on award-winning Toyotas. See all the offers on the most popular models at buyatoyota.com. Chargois, the 4th Dodger pitcher. Rio went 5, Baez, Scott Alexander, and now Chargois. Zach Cozart is the batter, with a donkey named Donald Duck. That's a true story about Mickey Hatcher. He and his wife have a duck.
I did know that
Daffy
one.
Duck.
Yeah, I did know that one, and that fits Mickey.
That is housebroken and comes in. They have a pillow for them next to a couple of chairs and a couch at night, and the duck watches television with him.
He's his pet.
Only Mickey Hatcher.
Nick might be listening. He'll let us know too. He'll text. He'll text when he's listening. I don't remember how he got him though. The pet.
His name is
who gave it to him? What was the story on that?
They're on a lake and there was a duck. Cozart waits the 1-1. Swung on, fouled off at home plate, 1-2.
Wouldn't leave Mickey alone. And they kept following him
took
around.
Care of him. So when they leave the house, the duck goes out. And when they come back home, the duck sees him. Boom!
Runs
the duck and right to the door.
Wow,
right
that's fun. That's awesome.
But you should hear Mickey talk about Daffy. My goodness.
Next time I talk to Mick, I'm going to ask him about it.
1-2. Waved at and missed. Well, there's another set of eyeballs by a hitter. Has been opened up wide with a pitch by Chargois. It's 2 up and 2 down here in the 8th inning.
Boy, look at the bottom drop out of that. He's got a changeup, slider, and a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. And he can hit 100.
And we're not talking batting hitting 100. We're talking about throwing a baseball and hitting 100. Jose Fernandez is the batter. Dodgers tonight have been right on the money as far as strikeouts are going by their pitchers. Fernandez a couple of stops, Double-A and Triple-A last year. Had some pop, hit 16 home runs, and handled the bat pretty well. Left-handed batter, slightly open stance. McGraw delivers, ground ball sharply to third. There's Farmer, throws across the diamond, and a very nice inning in the 8th appearance of the spring by JT Chargois. Indeed, he has been impressive. Bottom of the 8th we go. His new catcher was also Yasmani Grandal. Dodgers on top of the Angels 4-3. Evening has been completed for Albert Pujols. Drops by and says hello to Dave Roberts and Chris Woodward. Oh, the respect of baseball people when you go back and forth. It's one of the nice things about spring training. It has a very relaxed atmosphere. A chance to go in and talk to some people. Not relaxed atmosphere, however, for Taylor Cole, who comes on last season in the minor leagues, and the right-hander. First pitch to Gavin Lux, who bats for the first time tonight. Left-handed batter fouls it off 0-1. So the not ready for primetime players we're beginning to see right now. And Lux just an A-ball last year. 7 home runs, 39 runs batted in. 4-3 Dodgers, bottom of the 8th.
I tell you, just watching these Angel pitchers tonight, I know what they're teaching in their organization.
Change-ups.
You got it. How many have we seen? It's the most I've seen from an organization against the Dodgers all spring.
1-1 pitch. Take it for a strike. By the way, speaking of change-ups, we saw a young man throw a lot of change-ups last night to be exact. A collegiate pitcher. 1-2. Ground ball hit to the right side. That's going to be through. Well, Gavin Lux winds up with a base hit to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning.
You mean the kid with the Hall of Fame dad? That one?
We happened to go over and you and I went to grab a bite to eat, and then we went over and met with one of the delightful people who's now taken over the baseball. Here's Donovan Casey, his first at bat, but the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils. And throw over to first, and it's not in time. As throwing behind the runner. But pitching against the Sun Devils last night at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, which is now the home ballpark of the Sun Devils, was the son of Greg Maddux. And Maddux is the pitching coach at University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Fly ball right field, nice catch, and the throw a little bit wide. Well, Casey hit that ball very hard.
Yes, he did.
But it was like watching his dad pitch, because you and I were both watching. It was change up and change up. Didn't throw hard.
Curveball. A lot of off speed. Located.
And picked the guy off at first.
Yeah.
As a good move. So you see these young players, and now we're beginning to see more. Wes Darville in his first at bat for the Dodgers now. I mean, some of these young players we have been reading about, we have been hearing about, and now we have a chance to see them. And I'll be very honest with you, what we have seen has been most impressive.
There's just a lot of depth in the Dodger organization.
There goes the runner at first. The pitch taken down low, and a stolen base, and throw goes into center field. But holding on is going to be Gavin Lux as the stolen base. So what's been impressive about the young players? They have ability. That's why they're professionals. That's why they were signed. But more than that, at early ages, they have a very good grasp and awareness of the game.
Yeah.
And that's not always the case with young players.
You know, I was impressed with the program over there at Arizona State, going with you and seeing the new things and dimensions and build-up they did over there at that old stadium there.
Starville takes down low. 3 balls and no strikes.
Where Oakland used to train. That is some kind of facility they've built.
Originally, it was the San Francisco Giants that trained there. And Willie Mays hit the first home run in that ballpark. The dimensions had changed. It is much more cozy now than it used to be. 3-0 pitch. Nothing cozy about that line drive. Base hit to right field. They are going to send Lux. Here's the throw, the tag, and they got him at home plate. Nice tag by Carlos Perez. Lux is trying to slide to the outside, but a vicious line drive for a base hit. The out recorded at home plate for the second out of the inning.
Well, the kid in right field has a strong arm. We saw that on the last play, throwing back to first base, and he threw that one on the fly. A little bit wide of the plate, but a great play by Perez going to his left. And Lux took a peek at it to see where the ball was. Tried to slide around it, but Perez made the tag.
Lux never did get the left hand in to the plate, but a terrific throw from right field. So there are 2 outs. There's Moises Perez, his first at bat in the ball game. Brandon Marsh is the right fielder. Perez takes a strike and quickly 0-2. Bottom of the 8th inning. Dodgers lead by a run 4-3. Dodgers with 7 hits, 4 of them have been home runs. A swing and a miss, and that is going to do it. We are headed to the top of the 9th inning. Dodgers trying to close things out and win their 14th game of the spring. As we go to the 9th, 4-3 Dodgers over the Angels. This is only the 3rd time that we've seen him in one of the A games this spring. Entering his 6th major league season, his 3rd with the Dodgers, with a hard-throwing right-hander coming on.
Had a good year last year. 57 games, 284 earned run average, 4-1 strikeout to walk ratio, 194 batting average against. Rick, I didn't recognize him. His beard is so trimmed up now. Looks like a different guy. Looks like he lost some weight.
Well, he's out of Athens, Georgia.
He's got a big arm.
And for Fields, it did not just come all of a sudden to him. We mentioned the 6th major league season as he delivers down low, ball 1. Josh Fields, and this gets overlooked, he toiled for 9 years at the minor league level.
Threw the fastball and curveball last year. Fastball gets up there, 96.
Fouled off in the count. 1-1. Brandon Marsh, who made that big throw to home plate,
showed a good arm.
Is the batter. Eric Young Jr. is in the on-deck circle. There's Fields. And Marsh went fishing and wound up with a bare hook on that one. 1-2.
Yeah, Fields that 4-seam high fastball. Throw 96, 97 miles an hour. That's where the pitchers go now, up in the zone.
Infield slightly to pull. 4-3 Dodgers. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Fields delivers. It's just inside. 2-2.
A lot of speed he's working on right there. Pretty good arm action on it.
Dodgers tomorrow. And it's not broadcast on radio or television. But there's going to be some people show up. Not only because it's the Dodgers against the Royals in surprise, but Clayton Kershaw will have his final tune-up before he will take the mound on Thursday afternoon, next Thursday, against the Giants and Madison Bumgarner. We mentioned earlier that Jeff Smarsda with the Giants is going to undergo an MRI on his throwing shoulder tomorrow for San Francisco. The 2-2 on the way is hit down the left field line. It is drifting foul and into the crowd.
Well, Samardzija is a guy that's always had a tough delivery, rotational delivery. Puts a lot of pressure on his elbow and shoulder by doing that. Dave Righetti actually straightened him out at one point for a stretch there last year, but Dave is no longer the pitching coach. But the more fluid you can be with your mechanics, use your lower half correctly, good alignment toward home plate, the less chance you have of putting pressure on your arm.
Fields delivers, called strike 3. So the right-hander who was busy last year, he had scoreless relief innings in 44 of 57 appearances last year.
That was a changeup. Looked like he had a Fosh-type grip, like his whole hand on it. Not the normal circle change.
E.Y. Jr. Under the heading of where has time gone?
No
Breaking
kidding.
ball, first pitch, slow bouncer to short. Gonna have to hurry. Young can throw, make him run, and it's in time, just barely able to get it. Gavin Lux charging and throwing in a hurry.
Nice play.
2 down, and here's the out the Dodgers been looking for since about 9:30, 9:45 this morning. Again, that falls in a category we've been hearing about some of these young kids that can play, and now we're getting a chance to see them play and show their wares. They're not frightening. It's not like that deer in the headlights look.
It goes a long way to get a kid in these games. There's a curveball from Fields.
Carlos Perez takes a curveball, a strike 0-1. 2 outs, top of the 9th.
I like that Fields is working on a changeup here this inning, though. He got a strikeout on one of them.
Well, if you get that curveball over, you just threw, and you got the fastball, as you mentioned, is in the upper 90s, and you move the ball in and out, up and down, and then the changeup on top of it.
Yeah, change the speeds, get off that 96 fastball.
There's the curveball, taking for a strike. So that's a good hook.
Really good.
Speaking of curveballs, for those who maybe joined us late, Hyun-Jin Ryu, who has been working on the curveball, trying to really increase the spin rate. Threw a couple of not just pretty good curveballs, some excellent curveballs over his 5 innings of work.
He had a good outing tonight.
1-1, swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, there you go. This is set up perfectly. Couple of curveballs down, over the plate, fastball up. Now you can go with either one. You can go right back up in the zone if you want, or you go right back to the curveball.
Well, we'll see what Fields is going to match up with Yasmani Grandal. Here's the pitch. There's the hook in the dirt, blocked by Grandal.
Nice job by Grandal, ready for it, anticipating the ball being in the dirt. Covered it up nicely.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Got both knees down perfectly. Perfect timing of it. No daylight between the legs. That's how you smother a curveball. Yasmani's had a good finish to his spring, too, by the way.
Got off to a slow start, but boy, has he been hot. Here's Fields trying to end it. And the ball is popped up down the right field line, drifting back into the crowd. Again, big crowd tonight, 13,205 on hand. Spring training is not that far away from the curtain dropping.
Saturday will be the last game the Dodgers play here in Arizona. We'll have that game for you, both radio and television. And remember, that's a 12:05 start on Saturday. And that's going to do it. The curtain comes down tonight. The Dodgers with 4 home runs make them all stand up. And they were terrific on the mound tonight as well. And Fields wraps things up. And we're going to wrap things up as well. Dodgers win it by a score of 4-3. That's their 14th victory of the spring. And 4 home runs hit out of the ballpark. Good night to work. They had very good temperature tonight, about 81 degrees at game time. And on the radio side, we're going to stay with you. On the TV side, that's going to do it for us from Camelback Ranch. And for our Sportsnet LA viewers, you can join us on Saturday. That's going to be a simulcast. Dodgers will take on the Chicago White Sox in the final game here at Camelback Ranch this spring. First pitch, again, is at 12:05. For our Dodger Radio Network and our listeners, we'll be right back to wrap things up from Glenburg.